Yo, what up YouTube, Prophetic here. Welcome to my budget Tempest Flurry stat stacker build overview video. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I put my build together, including my gear, skill gems, support gems, and my passive tree. So far, ever since I started running this build, I've had a lot of fun with it. The build's really fast, it's strong, great for mapping, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. Alright, so first up, let's take a look at our gear. Starting off here with the weapon, so we are running the Pillar of the Cage God. We got lucky here on the corruption and hit the third socket. And for the sockets here, we're running 3 attack speed soul cores for all the attack speed we can get. Moving over to the helmet, we have a rare helm here with energy shield, some max mana, some int, fire res, cold res. We got a rarity soul core in the socket, and we hit +3 to max cold res on the corruption. Moving down to the chest piece, we got a grand regalia here. I actually just got this drop from Arbiter a few days ago, and this is by far the best one that I've gotten so far. And this has the 5% increased attributes per socketed rune and 10% to all res per socketed rune, so this really helped me cap out my resistances, which enabled me to run these rarity soul cores. But this is a really good chest piece for this build. Synergizes great with the stat stacking with that 5% increased attributes per socketed rune or soul core. So moving on down here to the gloves, obviously we're using the Hand of Wisdom in action, best gloves in the game for stat stacking and lightning based builds. We got, like I said, we got rarity in the socket here. We got, the rarity soul core. Moving over to the belt, we got a 43 ingenuity. Could be a lot better, could be worse, but we did hit +14 to intelligence on the corruption, so that was nice. Helps out a little bit with the damage. Moving over to the boots here, we got just some basic rare boots with some 35 move speed, and we hit +24 to cold res on the corruption, which helped out with the cold res, obviously. We got some max mana, some rarity, intelligence, lightning resist, and once again a rarity soul core. On our amulet, don't have an Astramantis amulet, unfortunately, so for now we're running just this rare amulet. We allocated Wildstorm for the 15% more lightning damage, and we got the 24% increased mana regen, some evasion, 20% increased energy shield, max mana, strength, int, and 18 to all res. And for the rings, the best rings that I have right now for the build that can get my resistances capped out and give me the most damage are these 2 gold rings. So this one has some physical damage, adds physical damage to attack, adds some lightning damage. We don't really care much about the max life because we're running CI, but we got +38 to strength, 28 to dex, and some fire res. And then the other gold ring here, got lucky here on the corruption and hit the 27% increased damage on the Val Orb, so that was cool. And then I got this one has 25% increased lightning damage. Don't care about the max life, but a little bit of max mana, 16 strength, all res, and lightning res. And then for my charm, I'm using the stone charm for the cannot be stunned. So that's pretty much the gear that I'm running here. Next up, we'll take a look at the skill gems and support gems. Alright, next up, let's take a look at our skills and support gems. Starting off, we have Unbound Avatar. We're running Persistence for the extra duration, and then Cold Mastery, Lightning Mastery, Fire Mastery. And I mainly only use Unbound Avatar when I'm doing bosses or like a breach. Moving down, next we got Tempest Flurry. We're at level 19 Tempest Flurry with max quality, and we're running Martial Tempo for the attack speed, Inspiration for the reduced cost, Primal Armament for the extra elemental damage, Rage, and Concentrated Effect. And this setup gets my town damage on Tempest Flurry up to 120k. For charge staff, we're at level 19, max quality. We are running perpetual charge, lightning exposure, strip away, shock siphon for some energy shield regen, and soul thief for some mana leech. On our bell, we're at level 19, max quality. We are running Font of Rage, Heavy Swing, Heft, Execute, and Close Combat. For mapping, like general mapping, I like running Shattering Palm. And in Shattering Palm, I'm at level 19, max quality, and we're running Maim, Blind, and Practice Combo. Now, if I'm going to do like some bossing, like Arbiter or Breach Boss or whatever, I will switch out Shattering Palm for a second bell, and on my second bell I run Overabundance, Font of Mana, Rising Tempest, and Elemental Focus. Next up, we got Herald of Thunder. We're at level 19, max quality. I am running Cold Infusion, Ice Bite, Glaciation, Ambush, and Long Shot. On our Herald of Ice, we're at level 19, max quality on that. And I have Lightning Infusion, Conduction, Overcharge, Innervate, and Magnified Effect. For Wind Dancer, we're at level 18 with max quality. We got Pin, Lockdown, Wind Wave, Calling Strike, and Unbreakable. Combat Frenzy is at level 18, max quality, and we have Profusion. And our Grim Feast, level 18, max quality, and we're running Clarity for the mana regen. And before we jump into the skill tree, I will pull up my character sheet here just to show you guys the character sheet. So we're at strength is at 226, dex we're at 368, 402 intelligence, 2391 energy shield, 1697 mana, 168 spirit. Don't really care much about the armor, but it's at 14, 71 evasion with 4 stacks of Wind Dancer, and most importantly, we're capped on our resistances here. Fire is 78, we're at 79 on the cold and 76 on lightning. Don't care about the chaos res because we are running chaos inoculation, so we're immune to chaos damage. But that's pretty much the skills we're running, our support gems, and the character sheet. So next up, we will take a look at the passive tree. Alright, so we've got the passive tree pulled up here, so we'll start off with our ascendancy points. So we are running Invoker, and we jump up here and we grab Lead Me Through Grace. This helps us get our spirit from our chest piece. And then I like taking Shock Effect for the increased magnitude of shock, the I Am the Thunder for the extra lightning damage. And then I circle around here, I grab this elemental damage, Unbound Avatar, the other elemental damage, and I Am the Blizzard. So that's how I have my ascendancy set up. And I'll just go through, this passive tree, just kind of show you guys the path that I took and, the major nodes that I decided to go with. But we start out here, we can just come up this side here to get the skill speed and the attack damage. We come around and grab the energy shield nodes here, take these energy shield nodes, and then I like picking up this Step Like Mist because it gives us a little bit of move speed, the mana regen, and the +5 to dex and intelligence. And then on my charge staff, I'm running the mana leech support gem, and so I come down here and I grab Siphon to get the 2% mana on kill and the 25% increase amount of mana leached. So with that support gem and with this node, my mana is pretty good. Like I don't really have too much trouble with my mana running this node. And the what's it called again? Soul Thief. So Soul Thief with Siphon pretty much solves my mana problems. I mean, I have to use a mana potion every now and then, but it's not too bad. Alright, moving on, we come up the middle here and we grab this dual socket and resonance for our power charge generation with so we're running combat frenzy, so we have to take resonance to get some power charges for our charge staff. And this jewel has +9 to strength on the corruption, and it just has some stun threshold and attack damage and some fire res. Mainly running this for the +9 to strength and the attack damage and the stun threshold. Moving on up, I like running Eternal Youth. That way when I hit my potion, it refills my energy shield. And then I'll jump up here and I grab Spectral Ward to get the extra energy shield per 12 evasion on body armor. Come up here on our next jewel socket, we have a +10 to strength, some critical damage bonus. Damage penetrates cold res and increased magnitude of damaging elements with critical hits. Going on up this way first, we grab Chaos Inoculation. We got another jewel socket here. +7 to int on the corruption was nice. Got some increased damage with quarterstaffs. 10% increased duration of damaging elements. That's about all that we really use off of this one. We're going to pick up this intelligence, this energy shield, this 60% energy shield, 15% energy shield, and the +25 to int. Come across, we got another jewel socket here, +8 to dex, 1% move speeds, no big deal. Increased damage with quarterstaffs. We like that. We like the 13% increased magnitude of elements, and damaging elements deal damage 6% faster. Then we moving over this way to get to the other jewel socket and to get to storm charged, but I decided to take some energy shield here because, you know, I do play on soft core, so, you know, dying isn't the end of the world, but, you know, I like to have some energy shield, so these nodes were pretty good to help get my energy shield up over 2k. So we'll move back around this way, so we're allocating on our amulet the Wild Storm, but we come down, we pick up Martial Artistry for the +25 to dex mainly. Get another jewel socket here. Got some, see on this jewel, we got some crit chance, crit damage, attack damage, shock duration. Moving on, get Coming Calamity for the 50% increase damage while affected by Herald of Thunder or Herald of Ice. We're going to move down and pick up Bestial Skin. This is what we have to take to get our spirit. I like taking Enhanced Reflexes for the 8% increased dex and the 30% increased evasion. And then we're going to move across and get the Falcon Technique for the attack speed. And I decided to use gain 1 rage on melee hit. It helps keep the rage maxed out. Well, it's not maxed out all the time, but this helps keep the rage up, which increases our attack damage. And we got lucky here on the corruption again with a +8 to intelligence. And we'll move on down to our next jewel. 20% increased damage, critical damage, 19. Well, we don't care about the critical spell damage, but we're mainly using this one for the 20% increase to critical damage, and the 15% increased elemental, and the 15% increased energy shield recharge rate is nice too, I guess, for the energy shield. And our last jewel here, we got don't really care about the chaos res, but this is just the jewel that I had that gave me the most damage. And it's got the 14% increased damage with quarterstaffs. Don't care about the attack speed with bows. And it also has the 14% increased mana leech. And then obviously we're stat stacking, so we're going to grab the attribute nodes, the Polymathy for the 10% increased attributes, and Jack of all trades that gives us 2% increased damage per 5 of our lowest attribute. So that pretty much is the pathing that I have chosen to take on my Tempest Flurry slash Stat Stacker Invoker Monk. There's lots of different variations that I've seen, different people doing different things, but you know, I really wanted to get the Wild Storm and the Storm Charged, so that's why I kind of chose to come this path. Now I've also tried running like more crit, so you know, another setup that you could do is you could remove Storm Charged and all these nodes all the way over to here, and then you could spec into, like, you could take these crit chance nodes, these crit damage nodes, and like maybe these crit nodes, and then you have these crit nodes. So you can't get all of them, but you know, if you wanted to go more crit damage, like crit chance, crit damage, you could remove some of these and pick up some more crit. I've tried it both ways. I kind of like running it this way with the Storm Charged, but either way is good, whether you decide to go the elemental route with the Storm Charged or the crit chance and crit damage. So I chose to, this is my final setup, so this is the way that I like running it. You guys can let me know what you think about it. Anyway, that's our passive tree. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up the build overview. So for the outro of the video, I'm going to just jump in and pop open a T15 map here and just show you guys some gameplay. But I appreciate you all hanging out and checking out the video. Hope you enjoyed the build and everything. I'm having a lot of fun playing this build. I think it's you know, pretty strong, really fast. It's good for mapping, pretty good for bossing. So if you guys have any suggestions or comments, be sure to let me know. And also, if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, throw me a sub down there. I'd greatly appreciate that, as I am trying to you know, trying to get my channel going here. This is actually the first Path of Exile 2 build video that I've made, so I am planning on making more content going forward into the future. I know we got patch 0.2.0 coming up here, hopefully within the next couple weeks, and you know, I'm expecting that we're going to get some changes, maybe some buffs to some skills, some nerfs and different things. So you know, after the patch comes out, this build may not be any good anymore, so we'll just have to wait and see how things shake out after this content patch comes out. But I'm definitely enjoying Path of Exile 2 so far in the early access, having fun with it, and I'm looking forward to playing more and making more, you know, content, build guides and build overviews and stuff like that for the game. So be sure to check back, man, and I appreciate you guys. I'm going to roll out and just leave you guys with this T15 map. Have a great day, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.